Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new game. As we already finished the likes of Trials and Tribulations for Phoenix Wright. And this time, the newest game came out in 2024. Well, finally localized. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. And I am very excited to play this game. Might be wondering why this isn't only in small screen because, we will get the full screen at some point. Don't worry, guys. We'll get it to full screen. Set it to English. Next. Blah, blah, blah. Can we get the full screen? And yeah, a lot of the game itself is we're gonna try to make sure we get the gameplay at full rundown at least. Wonder if there's a way to Oh yeah, right here. They're gonna play on full screen mode. No, windowed. Whatever, it's fine. And yeah, the music itself, it's gonna be very loud. So I might have to lower the voices music a little bit, but the music is pretty good. You got the original soundtrack and the arranged soundtrack, which is pretty cool. You got the art style, which is the new art style, or the GBA art style. Honestly, we're gonna choose the HD art style because I think HD art style is very cool. And I'm very excited to play this game because I heard great things about it. And we'll see how this goes. And 1 second, hide UI mode, yes. Yeah, whatever. That's how we're gonna do this game. And anyway, to start on a new Ace Attorney Investigation Collections, we're gonna be playing as Miles Edgeworth, as you guys can see over here. And I think we got the first game and the second game, Investigations and Prosecutor's Gambit. And yeah, let's finally start a new game with episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Shall we? This game's gonna be so exciting because it's all about Edgeworth, but hell yeah. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. March 14, 1:16 a.m. Question mark. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter the cost. No, the gun! Who is that dude? I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. I always have been, and always will be. Starting off strong, are we? March 14, 2:05 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. Ooh. The door is unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's this smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Oh no! What the hell? Oh my god! What's the meaning of this? Freeze! What the? Gun? Identify yourself. Shut up. You got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Huh? Is that a threat? Let me make this one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. Just gonna run. Name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home from after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. 2:56 a.m. Room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder was taking place in your office, I ran here straight away. This is some art style I gotta get used to, you know? This is Dick Gumshoe. Emphasis on Dick. He is a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine, however. Ugh! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say. The culprit's soiling my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're really getting burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Oh, just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. But our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, even if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched into the forefront of my mind. I'm gonna have to check my recording just in case if I need to up the volume or something. Oh, speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Dun dun dun. Ooh. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it was just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office? For security reasons, this office door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it very carefully and use logic, it should become very clear to you. Ooh, logic. Logic? I don't know what logic is. By finding the connection between the two pieces of info and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall the information we've gathered with Q, and then I connect them very well with T. Oh boy. Now to use Q, recall the facts. Q. The crime scene is in my office, which... And for security reasons, the key, and we connect them together. For security reasons, all prosecutor doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard to find the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, and that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. Surely, right? There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? Killer's goal. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some really beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, if you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's just get started with our investigation, shall we? Oh, yes, sir. Let's begin the investigation. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply use the spacebar when I'm next to it. Oh, if you're ever feeling lost and want to talk to me, just use T, okay? I'll give you some great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Huh. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Okay. This is gonna be interesting, because this is the first time I get to use a keyboard. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of those before. Care to enlighten me as where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. A detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, do you see this model around the precinct a lot, sir? I don't use mine much. Okay, I think I fucking messed up. Oops, whatever, it's fine, it's fine. Let me check my history. I don't mind using mine much, but except emergency, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct detectives. Found the crime scene, it's the same models with precinct detectives. Okay, I can use the clicking, whatever. Ouch, even they knocked over your chess set, sir. I had it all set up ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, sir, so I thought I'd give it a try. In that case, I suppose I could set some time aside after we solve this case. Don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity that much. Okay. Sometimes you can't reach the evidence with just clicking alone. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. Go winky dink. Ooh, doo 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 doo. Alright, then, let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. Ooh, Buddy Faith? What a name. Buddy and Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of impertinent info. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Not yet. Let's see here. There's blood over the lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed through to his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing this crime scene. Body was found at 2:05 a.m. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Inside my head. Alright, if you say so, even though I don't got any of that. I keep all the evidence I find in or without with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have to press E and open my organizer. But the organizer isn't only for evidence, I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Is there anything else that stands out? Your files are over the floor, sir! They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. Let me check my thing. Crime scene notes. Buddy Faith. Damn, 32, 29.
I mean, this is rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, then I lower the floors every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list of as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I come in and clean this place until it's sparkled.
Does he have a life?
Oof.
I don't think there's anything else, is there?
I don't believe it. I packed those flowers on the shelf so tight that not even an earthquake can make them fall off. Just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
A problem to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back on the shelf. Hopefully we don't have to deal with an earthquake just like in the last game, so... Anyway.
Oh, watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
That killer is going to pay. This tea set.
Yikes, you're really mad over this.
This tea set is very dear to my heart and it can only be bought in England. It costs more than your whole month's paycheck.
What, Nunny? Now I feel like the killer wasted one of my monthly paychecks. Oh, what's your trophy? The Knight of Prosecutors, right?
King. The King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send us to the winning prosecutor.
Right?
Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is only something I can determine for myself.
Oh, that's so slick, sir. I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime.
Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to me. Well, it's a good thing my steel samurai statue doll was spared any harm.
Speaking of which, sir, I actually haven't sat down and actually watched any of that show. What's it about again?
Well, I don't know much about it myself, but the hero of the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Old Tokyo, is the Steel Samurai, and his goal is to defeat the evil magistrate. It's a show geared towards kids. Ah, yes, the first game. However, its high production values, riveting plot draws in a number of adults as well. Spin-ups like Pink Princess, Warrior of Little Old Tokyo, and the Nickel Samurai. Along with the deluge of merchandise, even the new stage show gives it presence. He's very fandoming.
You sure know a lot, sir. Are you sure you're not some kind of rabid fanboy?
Of course not. Anyone that keeps up with the society at least knows this much. And that conversation lasted longer than I expected. Let's return to the investigation. It's been a while since I sat at this desk. Oh, how I missed you. It's so tidy and it looks newer than I first bought it.
Oh yeah, that thing's so polished it makes mirrors jealous.
Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective.
My job is protect your office, sir.
And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred in it.
Okay, that's pretty harsh, sir, but I understand.
I have to admit that this desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Docking pay? No! Is this yet another batch of fresh flowers?
The ones that come with a card attached every month like clockwork for you, yup. Speaking of that, let's see what's on this card this month, sir. All will be resolved.
Wendy? Oh, the irony, miss. How painful are thy thorns.
Wendy, isn't that the name of the old lady with the whiny voice that stuck?
Oh no, Wendy Oldbag? That's enough, detective. Need not remind me any further. Just hearing that person's name brings scary news to my head right now. Okay. Hopefully we don't have to talk. We'll find Wendy Oldbag in this game. I have a feeling. How is it coming along?
Please,
I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. I hope we can solve this incident quickly. I would like to return to relaxing on this sofa.
That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too, just for a little while, sir?
Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us has time to spare, let alone rest.
You're right, sir. I'm gonna go work hard and be a real trooper to the very end.
Even once his case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my very eyes.
Talk about a contradiction.
Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Okay, I think this is where we start to piece evidence together. So this is where I get to have to often save. This is like a lot of the UI reminds me of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think we're gonna have to figure this out. The killer's goal. Signs of a struggle. The victim was a detective. Nope. Pieces don't fit quite together. Huh. You know what? I'm gonna reload again. Just in case I don't fuck up again. Because we're gonna have to, like, keep using logic for this, you know? Okay. There we go. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to a recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, can you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Oh, yes, sir, on it now, sir. Excuse me, pal, let's see. What have we got here? Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster.
So it appears that our killer only managed to take the victim's gun from him. Issue to the victim. Let's see what else we could find out about this revolver. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the rotating thing to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Just you need to zoom in to get the nitty gritty. I think that's so easy to take a life with just a pull of a trigger.
You know, I can't even imagine myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use at track and field to start races. Even if you take off before it's fired, everyone always ends up following your lead.
To chase you down for a false start, detective.
Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place.
The revolver has at least... It looks like one round was fired from this.
Well, so the killer killed the victim with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
We have no proof for now, but it's a distinct possibility. I guess that's about all we're gonna find out here. We should send a body to an autopsy.
Jim!
Why, oh why? What could have just happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I cannot do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! I mean, look at him. Jim looks like he just turned in for the night.
Sure, in a blood-stained suit, pal.
Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jock Portman, Prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime bustin'. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor.
Detective Gick Gumshoe, sir.
So you're Miles Edgeworth, huh? I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim!
Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay?
I will not. I will know how things work around here. Thai prosecutor's office doors have all locks built into them. And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? Does that make you the killer, Gumshoe? So the only one who could get here was me! Wait, that means, I'm not sure what that means. What did I do?
So it was you then! You're Jim's killer!
Hey, no way, pal, you got it all wrong.
Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation only has just begun, and is it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. But you're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. But you are sure one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call it a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. You guys are conducting your own investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then. It's your room after all. Thank you, I tend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there.
Sir!
I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Something... I should probably give him some space. Mr. Portsman, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see, it'll be for the both of us. Now then, you wanted to talk to me about something? No, that's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting their conversation. How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his arts. Does this mean I have to, like, finally investigate this?
Oh, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor?
It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by following around.
So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well. They dared shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster.
It's not worth getting worked up over, detective. Not when there's something more here.
Oh, like what?
I take it you haven't noticed it yet, detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us.
Really?
Yeah, did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. You don't mean Phoenix Wright? I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find a spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor to it with T with conviction. And when I have found a sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. And this is how I do things. The gun. Only one shot fired. Yeah.
Eureka! Eureka! Whoa! He said Eureka.
This bullet hole is the contradiction.
Wait, what do you mean, sir?
It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. But however, the first felled the victim. and the second fell in this frame.
Hey, that's right!
However, this gun was only fired once.
Hey, that's true too.
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Other than the victim's gun I found, what could be another gun in play here?
By the way, I noticed something, sir.
Yes?
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Oh, yeah, that, it's a secret safe.
A secret safe? Ooh, I smell money.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly remove this frame out of the way.
Roger that, sir. Talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here, or I had kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We'll only use them to store specially important evidence when the trial's in session.
Oh, that's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams, man.
Trial evidence use. Only they know of them. I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Now this is very odd.
Found something, sir.
This keypad, don't you believe it's a bit too clean?
Oh yeah, there's a thick layer of dust around it, but it's not on the keypad itself.
You there, forensic scientist.
Yes, sir.
Could you please dust this area for fingerprints?
You got it, sir.
I couldn't find, let alone live, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. The fingerprints have been wiped clean off. Interesting. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally calm and play to connect the dots with the information we have. Never hurts to look again.
Never knew there was a safe hidden back here.
Well, if detectives knew about them, then they wouldn't be secret now, would they?
Are there any other secret hidden things in this room?
Even if there were, it would defeat the purpose of them being hidden if I told you. So don't bother looking for them.
So there's no, like, hidden camera around, alright? No whatsoever?
What if there was?
Oh, no, it's nothing. Forget I said anything. Surely I won't try to steal from this safe. Do I even want to ask what he's been doing in my office while I've been away?
Okay, Gumshoe. My main concern is definitely what we're gonna connect around here. Let me save the game again. Obviously, we can't go further unless we connect the dots. Okay. Signs of a struggle. White fingerprints. Another angle. Killer's goal. The white fingerprints. There we go. I believe I have figured out what the murder was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. It was theft, the motive. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Can I connect this? There we go. There is a possibility that the files splayed onto the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer.
Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Well, yes, sir, I'm gonna shelve files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure, let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. Unless if they're a spirit medium, then they'll probably go back to life. But anyway, all we can do is search for the truth. And what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help.
So the file goes here and the book goes there.
You know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Hey, because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done.
Ooh. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
The blood stains on the floor are still very fresh.
I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf.
And then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
Oh, you know I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Victim's
handprints.
He must have tried to support himself with his hands here after being shot.
There are prints on the floor too.
Those must have been made when unable to stay standing after he dropped to the floor. Here's that the victim was in a sitting position here after being shot.
Oh, so that's why the seat of the victim's pants had blood on it.
That would be the illogical conclusion. Hey, Jared, can you stop sneezing? I'm trying to record shit here. Christ. Killer moved the body because it was leaning against a bookshelf.
The blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well.
In a sense, I suppose.
See, I'm not completely useless, Mr. Edgeworth. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh?
For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in the file spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
Is there anything else? Deduce? Is the spot connected to any of the evidence I hold? The problem is... This revolver, though, feels like something is wrong. I want to believe it's the... I want to believe it's the gun. Okay. Let's deduce this with one of the evidence. This is clear where the contradiction lies.
I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot.
Huh, you don't understand? You see there lies the contradiction.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir, it'd be nice if you just admit when you're wrong.
That wasn't a mistake. That was me keeping you on your toes, detective. Okay, I'm reloading. I'm reloading, baby. Let's fucking go. I think I know the answer. Okay. The victim's sign of a struggle.
Eureka!
It's clear your connection with this bullet hole.
What do you mean, sir?
You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up.
What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir?
That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was still standing when he was shot.
Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir?
Because it was planted there. It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means that someone made a faulty assumption. It was from this mistake from our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that causes problem with the bullet hole's position? The position of the body. The victim was shot while he was lying down. Wait.
Didn't you see the line of reasoning was illogical, sir? You said the victim leaned against the shelf here after being shot.
I was trying to be nice and explain my complex logic in an easier way for you, detective.
Oh, really? Thanks for thinking of me, sir.
Good, I don't think he's noticed my mistake. I think the order of the files... Oh, the order of the files. Maybe the order of the files is a bit off.
You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, too.
Oh?
Yeah, you see how the files were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird.
Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I've seen them in my mind's eye.
But the numbers are all out of order.
All's white binders are special. They are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Huh, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you did, detective. Let's rearrange the file in the numerical order as we find out.
Think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was moved before?
They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is where it should logically be. The killer went through my files before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim.
Oh, what would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time?
Puzzling indeed. The files are thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Now the crime scene is at the time of the murder. Let's time to give it another look. As I suspected, bullet hole is now where it should logically be. We figured out the killer went through
your bookshelf twice.
Indeed, there are many things that the killer did that doesn't make very sense. To figure out the whys, we need more info. There must be a reason why the victim's body was moved. But there's no time to ponder that now. Let's continue with our investigation, detective.
Roger that, sir. I'm raring to go.
These handprints belong to the victim.
Victim, right? They should make sense with the body position.
Yes, he must have left them when he was trying to support himself after he was shot. However, the final position of the body shows that it was moved. I need to go over this crime scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. This.
What is that? What does it say Gumshoe there in blood?
I say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative evidence of criminal activity indeed.
Wait, no, wait, there's gotta be some kind of mistake here. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me. Say something, sir.
It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? One of the files were stolen by the culprit. Well, that's the investigation complete. Ooh. HP restored. Looks like Jim was able to leave us in the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you it wasn't me.
Can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words are more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it. Oh? I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do?
What I always do in court, I'm going to cross-examine him. And one way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique.
Oh, how do you do that? that? Can you explain it to me, sir?
Fine, might as well. Alright then, first listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer and even present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I must simply use T, but that's old news.
But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in their testimony every time, right?
Correct. At those times, I need to press the witness with Q. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information or new modified testimony.
I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try to check me out during investigations too, just like what Phoenix Wright does.
Very well then, even though you said Phoenix Wright, I'll even show you how it's done. Now, watch carefully. Let's do this. Mr. Portman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't even notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be his final words that you'll be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find a flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Let's do this. Hold it. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim? When clearly his name is Buddy Faith. Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. Jackson Jim. Don't those two names to go together like peanut butter and jelly?
But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name.
Well, Jackson Buddy just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. He talks about the victim like it was his pet.
Hold it!
Press everything. Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? Well, that's true. Okay then, maybe his real intent was theft.
Hey, are you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that his life is getting a little too rough to handle. Ooh.
I'll have you know I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, also there's all 3 of them have to be instant noodles, but...
You poor thing. What a evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no.
Hold it!
And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway. The bloody letters his body was hiding.
Hold it!
Why do you think the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? Well, the body was covering it quite well. Wouldn't you say that's how he missed it? By judging what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
There's a lot a person can understand about another from first impressions alone. I can't say I disagree with him on that point.
Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup. For a game-finishing spike. Be my final words that you'll be brought to justice.
Hold it!
Are these saying that those letters are intended for you? Yep, Jim was an outstanding detective. I would expect no less from my former partner. It looks like Mr. Portman still doesn't understand. He has yet to figure out the true meaning behind the bloody letters. What are you sputtering over there? Can't you just admit my logic is perfectly sound? Actually, there's a gigantic flaw in this logic. A gap so wide that even the good detective can spot it. Now the clue must support my pressing him with some evidence. I think it has to do with this. He didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. It's because one of the files was stolen, no?
Objection!
Objection! Yeah! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there's a serious flaw in your logic. Heh, bringing a lot of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it very odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office. What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. Ah, I get it. If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, it might direct your attention to the missing file. Nani? That's impossible. What's impossible, Mr. Portman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are about a certain case. When the killer went to take a file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spines.
Objection!
Objection? It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder. I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on. The missing letters in the detective name where the file should be is proof.
Yeah, I mean, the S is gone. There's only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt they even overlook his own name written in blood on the files, especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Gah!
Which means what exactly? What does that make this die message?
It makes it work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low. I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm going to get him, sir. You'll see. I'm going to have them under arrest in no time.
Well, Mr. Portsman. Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold. I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed. You win some, you lose some. That's how life goes.
Glad that everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
What is that this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me.
Uh-oh.
But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
Huh? Change his clothes. That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence. Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? Oh my god. What I was thinking, did you know that there's one other person with a key to this office? One other person. Hey, you there.
Oh, yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Would you like to kindly fetch that escort a young lady for me? A lady? That girl's a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Oh, security. Did you say security? No, stop it, pal. Don't.
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Oh, is it Maggie? I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bride as a member of security. Oh my god, she's back! Oh my god, she's actually back. What the fuck? I thought she was working as a maid. Detective Gumshoe, sir. Oh my god. Maggie? What did you do?
Maggie!
Mr. Bride is the security guard on watch tonight.
I see.
And your point is? My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
NANI?!
If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bride. Wait, How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room.
Yeah, that's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right. I did.
Oh, wait, no, Gumshoe, no. No. Can we take that as a confession, detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, then you have no problems with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Listen to your boss, detective. He understands what I'm saying here. And that girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Reason for suspicion? It's pretty obvious that Miss Bride snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bride as our prime suspect. On top of which, she only knows our good detective, doesn't she? Make it all more probable that she was the one that faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? This can open every office door. It is used but controlled by security staff. It'll be incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what we claimed about the evidence earlier as well, huh? That was then, and this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than the Miss Bride could have used the master key. It seems like the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Obviously. Let's do this then.
Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bride was the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bride? That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What the hell's that supposed to mean, huh? Yes, that's moving on. I hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? Don't I want to hear what she has to say, pal?
Well, you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bride out? Alright, ask for more detail. Not so fast. I, too, am interested in what hearing Miss Bride has to say. Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't even need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that, Miss Bride, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean missing? As it wasn't anywhere near the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this is an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir.
Objection!
If that's the case, I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. A likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. I would never lose things. I could practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't want to just test how bad her luck is.
Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, but... You still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. As if Mr. Portman says, detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
Hold it!
Oh, that was a long-ass press. I concur that the culprit's motives appear to be thievery, however. Glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe. Hey, good thinking, that's for my opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence?
Hold it!
And I thought we had already established that Detective Gumshoe's innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had doubts about Miss Bride from this very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face, see? There goes the truth and running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can't catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. Oh, but we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? It's so that I hope you understand when I say that since she is the only one who could have opened your office door.
Hold it!
Don't you think this is a bit too early to be jumping to conclusions? Hey, are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know, I have never made a spare. So what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. She's a good detective, doesn't she?
Hold it!
Is there any other district that has at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors.
Oh, really? I never would have so talked about, sir.
We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force.
Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course not. That's hogwash.
Phew, don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack, sir.
Fake the dying message.
Hold it!
By the dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell of Gumshoe? I figured that whoever wrote his name must have really wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other as well.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence.
I would love to. But first, we should listen a bit more and digest what he is saying. And press him for more information. I feel like one of them could be off. There is a chance that Buddy Faith could have used the key. Honestly. 2:05 a.m. Of all the things, why, like, saying Gumshoe is, like, ridiculous, honestly. Great, Miss Bride stuck into your room when using the master key, huh? Is it the safe? I think it's the safe, no? I think it's the safe, no?
Objection!
It would have behooved you to take a good look at this. I see, but I fail to see how it has anything to do with me. Is that so? Oh no! You're not at the top of your game today, are you, Mr. Genius Prosecutor? I can't allow him to set the pace here. So remain calm. By only doing so, we can find a fatal flaw in his reasoning. Uh-oh. Am I stuck? Uh-oh. I think I'm stuck, am I?
Hold it!
I feel like I'm getting stuck at right here. I feel like I need text faster. Text faster would make this a lot easier.
Objection!
Yeah, we don't believe that, honestly. Her intent, from the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe, I'd say thievery. I don't know about that. I think it is this one. Could I be right about this? Yeah, that's... I present this on the wrong fucking argument. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bride was set on stealing something, huh? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to this whole theory conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that this safe is a secret safe, right? The safe that which will only privy to prosecutors. Ah! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have just found it by accident while she was turning everything upside down. I highly doubt that. I say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, the only books shelved in the safe were targeted. Nyarg.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? I feel like you're making this so easy for me, are you? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. Oh my god, is he stupid? What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now? Curses, why? What made you?
What's wrong with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault.
What do you mean?
It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. Wait, what did you just say? We were partners, like inseparable conjoined twins. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safe.
And that means...
Yeah, I know, I had only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it, but the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bride. Excuse me? You're trying to pin him? On her? I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But Killian is going a bit too far, even your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? That's fucked up, man.
Yes and no. I mean, she had to stumble upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. But I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. Could never do something like that. Not even a security guard, sir.
Yeah, plus he even was the thief. He wouldn't have a key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Huh. Pretty impossible for supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless... Well, unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Oh, that's kind of true. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Ah, but I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects of varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Well, listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't not be the culprit.
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But, sir...
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, it would be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portman. We will meet again. And that's for a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? Dang. Wait, that's only the first part? What the fuck? There's another one? Damn, that was a pretty long part, not gonna lie. Nearly an hour long. Well, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, and we're gonna continue this all next time.